never thought it was such a bad little tree.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Christmas news.
Merry Christmas. This is Kringle Cronkite. And I can do the voice pretty well today because I'm battling a bit of a sore. And as I said to Danny, just a lot of work. My body is shutting down a little bit. It needs to have a quick sickness before we head into the holiday season.
Yes.
But my voice is very good for this is Kringle Cronkite. Ooh, it's very warm. And I remember when I was in college, I used to love when I would get sick because especially if we were working on Shakespeare, I'd be like, my voice is so low and gravelly when I get a little sick. So this is Kringle Cronkite, and welcome to Merry Minutes, part of the Christmas Countdown Show. Hey, everybody. How's it going? My name's Eric Petersen. I fooled you yet again. And I'm here with...
They're fooled at this point.
I know. But you never know. It's an audio medium.
That's true.
So maybe they really are.
And if it's their first time, they just stumbled upon this.
Just
like, wow, Walter Cronkite is back.
Back from the dead.
He's just been living in the North Pole the entire time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But we're here. It's Eric and Danny. We got Chris coming to us live from Brooklyn. This is your Merry Minutes. We got a couple of very exciting news stories for you today.
True. Yeah.
What do you think, Danny? Should we just jump right
Let's
into
just
the first
jump
one?
right in because we do have a guest who's joining us
We do.
later on the Merry Minutes who has an album coming out, which we're actually going to get to talk to them about, which is very exciting. So this first story, now this is an update on a previous story, Eric.
I love an update.
I love an update. That's what we're here for. So a few weeks ago, it might have been a month ago now, I had found this article online on some like food blog website that Cheez-It was allegedly coming out with their own version of a gingerbread house. Not a gingerbread, but like a cheesy bread. That sounds really good, actually.
That does sound
cheesy
good.
bread house. But I didn't believe it was real. And then we got a DM from one of our field correspondents, Cinnamon Sylvia, again. She was like, it's real. It's happening.
And she found it in the wild?
She found it online. Oh, and she was like, they're selling it at this store. And so immediately I went to this store's website and was like, oh my gosh, they have it here in my town. I'm leaving right now. And I told my wife, I was like, I got business to do. Unfortunately, the website was wrong. When I got there, they didn't have it at all.
Sold out? Or they
just said not available at this store is what it said.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh gosh, is there another one close by?
Yeah.
And there was about 30 minutes away. And so, of course, I run back out to my truck after looking at the Christmas decorations real quick, of course, just checking in, just to make sure they weren't hiding there, of course, obviously. And I drove about 30 minutes away, Eric, and
no way.
I brought it in with me, the Cheez-It Holiday House Kit.
Oh
it is a real
gosh.
thing, dude. It is real.
This is the coolest.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, my gosh.
Doesn't it look amazing?
This is amazing. Okay, now here's my question.
Okay.
As I'm looking at the back of it.
Yeah.
Is the house pieces, it says pre-baked cheese-flavored cookie house pieces.
So it's got to be like a Cheez-It, just a thick, big Cheez-It, essentially.
Cheez-It, and then there's regular-sized Cheez-Its that you would thatch to make the roof.
Exactly, which is brilliant. Now, some of our Patreon fans, because I posted a photo of this on the private Facebook group yesterday, being like, it's real, it's happening, we're going to chat about it tomorrow. And a bunch of people commented like, I'm just still a little disappointed of like the sweet combination. Like, couldn't they have come up with like a cream cheese piping or something like that to put the house together rather than, because it's like a pre-made icing, which is your typical thing you would get.
That is an interesting taste combination of icing and cheese.
I mean, we'll have to try it. Maybe I know people love when we eat on the show, so maybe we'll do a whole episode dedicated to eating a house.
Well, here's a good question for you, though. Is it more important to have structural integrity and the aesthetic look of whether it be a Cheez-It house or gingerbread house, or is it more important to have it be able to be eaten and taste good? Or where do you put the importance? Is it like 90% it needs to look good and 10% it needs to taste good? Or where do you fall on this?
That's a great question because I feel like most people don't eat their gingerbread houses. Do they?
We do.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I guess
I feel like you make it, and then as it starts to fall apart, you eat it.
You just devour it.
No, it's more a thing that you eat it in passing. You're like, I'm going to take a gumdrop right now.
Well, exactly. It's falling off the house.
Sure. Yeah.
And they brought up another great point. They said, why do candy as the decorations? Why not do like peanuts and some other savory treats to make it more like a Chex Mix, right?
Yes.
Doesn't that feel smart?
I
anyway,
agree.
Well, maybe next year. But Eric, as if one holiday house was not enough.
Sure.
They had a whole array of holiday houses. Did you know that this existed beyond gingerbread houses, the traditional?
No.
Neither did I. And this one about blew my mind. Because
Whoa.
it's a Reese's.
Whoa.
It's a Reese's chocolate holiday house. Are you kidding me? So the whole house, I'm going to put this on camera for everyone who's watching on YouTube or Spotify. The whole house is made out of chocolate, like wafer cookie, and you use the
awesome.
Reese's to like do little decor underneath the window for
Let me
like
see
flower
this thing. Let me
boxes
see
and
this thing.
whatnot.
Is it the same company?
That one is made by, what does
Create
it
a
say?
Treat.
This one's Cookies United.
Okay, different thing.
So different companies.
But were they in the same section?
They were. There was like a whole section dedicated to them. They had an Oreo one, Eric.
Whoa.
They had like 4 or 5 different. They had a Hershey one. It absolutely
And
blew
this Reese's
my mind.
one is really, it's hefty. This is a
feels
heavy box.
like it's got some girth to it, which I'm excited about.
This is
So I guess the question is, what do we do with these? Do we just eat them? Do we build them?
I think we got to build them.
Do we build them? Okay.
We got to build them.
And then do we put it on display here in the studio this season?
And then we eat them slowly as they fall apart.
Exactly. That's perfect. Exactly. On the warmer days, there'll be chocolate
Everybody
days.
wins.
I love it. So that's story one. And before we bring our guest in here in a second, I wanted to shout a great group out. You know, historically on Merry Minutes and our news, we're focusing on like big entertainment news,
Sure.
right? Or big food, big corporate news, right? But there's a lot of amazing things happening in the world at the holiday season. People
Yes.
giving back. And I found this story online that happened in Memphis. We know Memphis well.
Yeah,
we
St.
went
Jude,
there
yeah.
for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I found this story where thousands of people gathered in Memphis for a Christmas in November giveaway that's organized by this incredible church organization down there. They had over 27,000 people pre-register to show up to not only get free food, but also to get free clothing, free toys. All of it was donated. All of it
Amazing.
was 100% free. And I thought, I know sometimes the world can feel a little heavy. We can feel like there's just a lot of negativity out in the world. And I just wanted to remind you guys that there is a lot of good happening out there. And specifically, this was I want to shout out the organization so we can give them some love. This was at the Church of God in Christ. They do like an annual giveaway, essentially. And they've been doing it for a while. It had happened in Memphis for a short period of time. And then they were, I think, back in St. Louis. And then they went back to Memphis. And they'll be going back to St. Louis again this next year. But it's the Church of God in Christ annual Christmas in November citywide giveaway. No cost involved. And like I said, they had over 27,000 people pre-register for this event. All the volunteers were there handing out food and goods. There was no cost, no expectation. They had music. I'm sure they were delivering a little bit of the gospel as well, which just was beautiful. And I think in times that can feel heavy, I think we need to highlight this, that there are people doing positive out in the world. So huge shout out to the people of Memphis and what they were doing. We love Memphis. We had a great time there. So keep up the good work and just know that it's being recognized. And also I think just a reminder for all of us that yes, we're excited about the food and the movies and the music and all that sort of entertainment related stuff.
For the season.
The reason for the season is being there for others and spreading love and light. So
That's a great story to hear as we are really kind of truly getting into the season. We all know, if you're listeners here, we have the preseason, which is sort of in October, but now we're really getting into the season, and it's nice that hopefully we'll hear a lot more stories like that. I love that.
And if you know of any stories like that, please send them to us. DM them to us on Instagram at Christmas Countdown Show, or you can email them to us, kringle@christmascountdownshow.com. We really want to use this platform as much as we can to shine a light on all the good that's happening out in the world.
100%.
All right, Eric. It's time for our third news story.
I love it.
Of the day. And for
got
the
a guest.
story, we have a guest joining us. I'm so excited for this. Please welcome Chloe Flower.
Yes. Here she is, Chloe Flower.
Yes.
Welcome to the Christmas Countdown Show, Merry Minutes. How are you today, Chloe?
I mean, I'm so much better now that I'm seeing you guys and this
Aw.
whole
We're so happy to be talking with you. You are a world-renowned classical piano player and composer. Is it okay to say piano player, or do you have to say pianist?
No, you can say whatever you want.
Okay. Well, you're both.
Yeah.
You're both, and
Piano
we're so.
player, I mean, it all is the same thing in my eyes.
We're so excited to be talking to you. You have a new album coming out called She Composed the Holidays. It releases on November 7th, very soon.
Yeah.
I've already listened to a couple tracks, and they are spectacular and beautiful. It is instrumental, classical, pop music, because we're going to talk about that in a second here. You have your own genre, but it is a beautiful, beautiful album. I'm excited to hear the whole thing, but tell us a little bit about this new album called She Composed the Holidays.
Thank you. That was so amazing. Thanks for having me. This album it's actually a more core classical album as far as my other projects have gone, but it's an album of all female composers. So all of the pieces on the album were written by women, and starting from like 860 AD, Cassiani was like this Grecian goddess, and became a nun because she didn't want to be I guess, a Grecian goddess housewife.
Sure.
So she decided, let me just start my own career as a nun. And so it starts there, and then it moves all the way. There's a piece written by me as well, and Katie Jenkins, a frequent collaborator I have. And it's crazy that this is the first ever holiday album of all female composers. And it was really important for me to do this because, throughout the year, I hear a little bit more of music written by women. But at the holidays, when I go to concerts, 0% of the music is written by women.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to create this album, kind of inspire orchestras and concert halls to start programming holiday music that was written by women.
That is incredible.
That's great.
Eric has a daughter. I have 2 daughters as well, and we're huge proponents of just that representation in the world for young girls, teenage girls, middle-aged women to see that like you are capable of doing this and spreading all the incredible work of women artists all around the world. I think is just amazing. So thank you for that. I'll definitely be playing it for my girls. Now, as Eric alluded to earlier, you created your own genre called Popsicle. First of all, love the name.
Great name.
Brilliant name. I want it in my life so badly. Second, can you describe for people who maybe don't know like what Popsicle is and how did you find your way to it?
Yeah, it's like a genre that's like an anti-genre. I think I just couldn't fit into any genre. I was told throughout my whole life that I was too pop for classical, too edgy for classical, and I was too classical for pop. They were like, can you make your music like I remember in the studio I was doing this amazing song. They were like, can you make it like a little, like, I don't know how to say this, but like dumber? And I was like,
no.
And I don't even think basic chord structure is dumb at all. I think it can be so beautiful. And so like this kind of inspired me. I was like, I don't know how to describe my sound. Like when I'm doing hip hop, I'm not a hip hop pianist. If I do bossa nova, I'm not like a bossa nova pianist. Right. And so for me, it was like popular music kind of covers everything. Yeah. Classical music is what I am at the core. And so it was like Popsicle. And it just became a way for me to not have to say all of the things I just said.
Yeah.
And just be like, Popsicle.
When you came up with it, were you like, that's a great idea? Like it's such a great word.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
I'm so glad you like it because the first time it was out there was an accident. I was performing at Lake Nona for these scientists. And one of the scientists that introduced me like told everyone that I call myself a popsicle pianist. And I was so embarrassed because like to me it sounded so nerdy. Right. I was like, oh my God, like this is my secret word that like I only say in meetings. And so I'm really it's taken on its own life, which is really cool. But I think it's because there's so many people like me who really don't fit.
Sure.
Instrumental music is like so diverse, so you can really be anywhere. And a lot of people just felt like they didn't fit in as an artist, especially in the instrumental space.
I love that.
I think it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Let's talk about the holidays. So this is a holiday album. What is your feelings about the holidays? Are you a big holiday person? We talked a little bit beforehand, so I think I know where your answer is going to go. But tell us about your feeling about the holidays, your history with the holidays.
Babe, I was just saying that I want to do snow angels in your setup. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I could just lay up in there. I love the holidays, partly because I'm a New Yorker. I feel like around the holidays, everyone's just like a little nicer to your face. Yeah. And people are just like in that holiday spirit. And I like that energy, that positive, happy energy. I love the music. I love the pumpkin spice everything. I love the snow. I just love everything about Christmas. It's my favorite holiday for sure. That and maybe Halloween.
I love that.
Okay. So, being from New York, obviously New York is sort of like the epicenter of the holiday season here in the States. As far as we're concerned, both Eric and I have spent a lot of time in New York for work. What is your favorite part about New York at the holiday season? Can you pick one thing? I know it's so hard.
It's so hard. I think one of the things I love to do, I try to do it every year, is go see the Rockettes at Radio City, because they're so popsicle to me. Like, they're combining Tchaikovsky and then they're like doing their ballet, but in just like a really cool pop aesthetic to me. So I love that.
I love that.
Have you ever collaborated with them? I feel like that would be an amazing, like they're tapping with like you on the keys. It just feels like the syncopated rhythm would be so amazing.
We
Oh
need to
my gosh,
manifest
it's my
this right
dream.
now. Yes.
It's my
Manifesting.
dream. Let's
It's
manifest
happening.
it because it's my dream. Liberace actually did a show at Radio City with the Rockettes,
Oh,
and
wow.
he is so amazing. He was so amazing, still is. And yeah, that's been a dream. I did a music education collaboration with them, but not
Oh,
That's
performance
great.
yet.
Well, we're gonna get you on that stage.
I love
see
that.
it. Yeah.
I always love to ask, I'm an actor as well. Danny's a producer. I love talking to artists and artist to artist. When you're playing the piano and you're truly, whether you want to call it in the pocket, in the zone, locked in, when you know what it is, when you're just like, everything is going right. Describe to our listeners, what does that feel like as an artist when, sure, there's the practice time, there's the time of getting set up, and sometimes performances are like this, sometimes they're not, but in those moments where you're just like really locked in, what does that feel like for you when you're doing that?
I think I'm so much in my head a lot, especially as a classical musician. We're, trained to be perfect.
Sure.
And so it took me a really long time to get out of that mindset and to, pursue like excellence rather than perfection. Right. And so, because often that can lead to stage fright. So
Sure.
it took me a long time. I'm always in that zone when I'm here in my room practicing, like I am always in that zone on stage. It took me a long time to really feel comfortable enough to get into that zone. And I found that with this whole popsicle thing, that's how I was able to really connect with my audience. Like in the past, when I was a classical musician, my teacher would tell me, ignore the audience. They don't exist. I'm not even facing them. Like
Right, yeah.
I don't even really look at you when you're in the audience,
Yeah.
I can't even see you. But then all of a sudden with this new style of music and this new style of performance, I kind of taught myself like a new instrument in the sense of engaging with the audience. Like I will tell them, yell out, I'll talk to them while
Yeah.
I'm playing, all of these things. And so I think that is what's helped me to be in my pocket, knowing that I've practiced a bajillion hours,
Yep.
So that I know the music, so that no matter what happens, I won't mess up. Like, even Cardi B's butt in my face, like, that won't mess me up, right? Like
Yeah.
I can play through anything if I
Yeah.
can play through that.
Absolutely.
Because just so you know, the rehearsal piano was half the size of the piano you saw in the Grammys.
Oh my
There
gosh.
you
So
go.
like I was playing like this.
Oh
And
my
so,
goodness.
I think like really I love feeding off the energy of the audience and the other performers on stage. So that's really where I feel like the magic happens. And yeah, because as a soloist, I'm always alone. So
Sure.
it's been really fun to collaborate.
Yeah.
love that.
Speaking of collaborations, I mean, you mentioned you were performed with Cardi B on the Grammys, back in 2019, which was just an epic performance. If you haven't seen it, watch it without your kids around, first and foremost. But it's a great performance. Obviously, you've worked with Babyface. I saw the video of you guys recording yesterday in Abbey Road, which was just
Legendary.
so iconic. Are there other icons, artists that you respect that you would love to collaborate with at some point during your career?
Oh my gosh, so many. I think one of the singers I really wanted to collaborate with one day is Ariana. I think, her, Santa Tell Me is one of my favorite
It's a great one.
holiday songs. I did a solo piano version and I wrote it for string and orchestra and piano as well.
Wow.
And I just love how she is in the studio. I know from working with one of her producers, Tommy Brown, and I did a couple of songs together on my second album and first album. And I just know that she's like one of those in the studio, like getting in there and like really like, being creative. And then Yo-Yo Ma is a cellist that
Sure.
I've always wanted to play with. He's one of my favorite artists. When I saw him perform in Little Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that was the first concert I had ever been to. And he played Swan. And that was the only time he ever played there. And I think that was really what made me want to be an artist.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That's great. Now you have a couple holiday shows coming up. What can people expect at your live shows?
Well, it's not like I'm not a regular pianist. I'm a cool pianist. So you can expect like drinks and laughing and dancing and all sorts of fun things. This album is a bit more, like I said, it's a bit more core classical. So, I think the approach on this album was about bringing female composers in, but also not everyone has like a happy Christmas, right? Some people have like a melancholy Christmas. So I wanted to bring all of those tones into the album. So it's going to be, It's going to be fun. There's going to be like lots of popsicle, but lots of classical. I think music that you've never heard before, which I think is
I
super
love that.
cool.
We say hashtag sad Christmas on our podcast a lot. We talk about how the joy of Christmas is obviously what I think most people go to, but it also is a time where people are missing, people that are not with us anymore, and they think of those happy times, and it can get you to somewhat of a nostalgic, sad place. So we try to honor as much of that as we can.
Yeah. I love it. And instrumental music is such a great sort of like underscoring to those feelings, which we're so excited that you are releasing this, instrumental album, because we've talked for seasons about like, oh man, we got to do like a top 10 instrumental Christmas song countdown, which I think maybe that's got to be a next season thing. But going back real quick, just want to mention that you do have a show in New York City in December, Rockport, Massachusetts, and Aspen, Colorado. So if people want to check that out, obviously, look up Chloe on Instagram and on the web. You can get connected to that. Speaking of top 3 or top 10 instrumental Christmas songs, we would love to know, what are yours? We feel like this is you giving your list is what's going to serve as a catalyst and inspire us to maybe, put our brains to, the best instrumental Christmas songs at some point. So we want to know, what are Chloe Flowers' top 3 instrumental Christmas songs?
Okay, so this is the hardest question anyone has ever asked me.
Really?
It's like asking, what is your favorite food? And I'm like, what is it today? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know. It was so hard. This was like as hard as me picking songs for my album, because there's just so many good ones. I think, first of all, I would say instrumental wise, I love December, which is on my album, written by Fanny Mendelssohn. It's such a like crazy, exciting piece. And the first time I heard it, I loved it. So I had to write it for orchestra. Obviously, I'm obsessed with Tchaikovsky's Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Sure.
I mean, that's my favorite songs. And it's amazing. Like, it's an amazing piece of music, because although it was written, centuries ago, you can add a beat to it.
Yeah.
You can, it's so hot. It's like one of the hottest tracks to me. Like, you can make it slow, you can make it techno. Like, I've done so many things with that song. So I love that piece. And then I would say one piece that I haven't recorded, because like all of my favorite songs I've recorded already, but one that I haven't done is the Christmas Concerto by Corelli. It's such a beautiful piece, and it's not played very often in the concert halls, but like when you listen to the third movement, the Adagio, it sounds tremendously like Pachelbel's Canon, and it was written before Pachelbel's Canon. So like I always wonder, like, was Pachelbel in the audience? Like, I don't know, but it's like so similar. So and it's just it's such a beautiful piece. So
I wrote all those down.
I was like, I got to be typing right now.
I wrote them on my phone as you were writing.
When we do our top 10 list, we're both have the same 3 through 1. No, for me, Pachelbel's Canon was...
I have a good friend named Chloe who told me about a great piece that
she
I'd
does
like to
popsicle
highlight.
music. She's amazing.
It's great though, because I think like, just so you know, Beethoven, he's, when he was trying to get jobs, he stole all his music from Haydn, his mentor. And you couldn't trace it back. So he's like, I wrote this. That's how he got jobs. You fake it till you make it right.
Beethoven.
There were no receipts back then,
right.
as they say, right? You could just do whatever you want. There's no Instagram to be like, no, I posted that like 3 years ago, bro.
He could get canceled in his own little community of noble people.
Right, or you could just travel to another country and nobody's communicating with those people. They're like, hey, want to hear these 40 songs I wrote? They are amazing. Oh, that's incredible.
Chloe, this was so great talking with you. Thank you so much. Everybody, make sure you go out and check out her new album. Comes out November 7th.
Yes.
She composed The Holidays. You are a star, and we are so lucky to have spent the last few minutes with you. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We hope you have just a great holiday season.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was so fun.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Chloe.
Thank you, Chloe.
Bye.
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 But can I also take a picture
Yes.
Yeah.
of your amazing stage? Thank you.
Of course.
That was awesome, Danny.
Oh, my gosh.
She was very cool.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for her album.
Me too.
I'm excited to listen to the recommendations that she gave.
I know. You have
wrote
to
them
share
all
with
down.
me because I couldn't
I will.
type fast enough.
I
I also
will.
didn't know how to spell all of those names.
Yeah, I think
honestly.
the last one she said was Cavelli, but we'll have to check that. Christmas Concerto.
Okay.
But we can roll back the tape.
Roll the tape.
But
Let's go
no,
to
thank
replay.
you so much for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
This was your weekly dose of merry minutes. This is Kringle Cronkite signing off with my good friend.
Jingle Bell Jordan.
There he is. We need to give Chris a name. Chris doesn't have a name.
Come on, Chris. What do you want your name to be?
Well, I think the obvious, like the low-hanging fruit is something like Christmas Sicily or something, but is that too much?
Christmasly?
Chris Misley, sure.
Maybe it should be Chris Misley.
I like that. Chris Misley. Christmasly.
All right.
He did it very Christmasly.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
good.
that is brilliant.
Oh, this is good.
Oh,
okay, so roll it back, everybody.
This is the biggest news show there is.
This is Kringle Cronkite reporting live with my good friend
Jingle Bell Jordan.
and
me, Chris Misley.
we love you all. Come back next week, and we'll sign off how we always do by saying a very heartfelt Merry Christmas.
And happy holidays.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Oh, that was
Chris Misley.
Chris Misley. The tone was perfection, Chris.
Oh, my God.